So this morning I put a video up on Channel 1 talking about the wrath of man. It's the verse of the day. And that verse of the day, it was James 1:20. Think about the wrath of man could have been invoked this weekend if Orange Juice Jones if he'd have died. If he'd have been seriously wounded and died, do you honestly think that the public that supports him, the extremists, because there's extremists everywhere in all things, and most of the time it only takes a few people to do something. Like if people started running in a crowd, other people would take off and run and not even know what they're running for. So if that would have happened, people would have started bearing arms, and I think it would have got hostile. And you would have had certain parts of the Republican Party go after Democrats. That's what's happening here, folks. That's the main thing I'm trying to tell people, is that what we're looking at is a setup for the second seal when it's open. They shall be given power to kill each other. And then there's a great sword that comes too. So you got civil war and world war that would happen. That's going to happen. And so there will be all kind of narratives. 50 Cent is already trolling the situation. Stuck Donald Trump's head on top of his body in one of his rap songs, Many Men. And that's what they're going to do to this dude, man. They are going to turn this guy into an icon, especially in certain districts, and especially with the black vote. And you got people out here talking about, I still vote for the... So the more they do to this guy, the more he will be elevated. I'm going to keep saying that. The more he will be elevated. So you try to take him out. Somebody died in the process. Other people got hurt. The narratives are going to be floating about the guy that did it. Where was he seen at? What was he doing? Again, if we know what we know, that guy was a plant. Wound him up. Put a gun in his hand. Because the evil is here. For the mystery of iniquity is already at work. And they are already working their iniquities. And I said this before, pick a side, choose your identity, pick a team. This is what's going on, folks. And everybody's being set up and don't know it. They're being set up for civil disobedience, to where people will be bearing arms against each other. This is the only country in the world. We got more guns in the street and folk hand that own them, licensed and unlicensed. So when I think about that second seal being open, they will be given the power to kill each other. Think about this, man. Now those movies they made, Purge and all the rest of those things, when it breaks down, when the infrastructure breaks down, just like it did when Moses went to go get the law, and all them people freaked out with no leadership and had Aaron built them a golden calf so they could have their freak-offs. Freak-offs ain't nothing new. Freak-offs been going on since the Old Testament. So you got chaos that happens, and man has a history of showing we're not good without leadership in any capacity. So if leadership and the one who you want to be leadership, the one that's being idolized, if something was to happen to that guy before we made it to November, God said, not so. It's not time for that to happen yet. Same thing he said when Hillary was running. It's not your time. You will not get in there. So, if God gave that little girl a dream 4 times stronger, 4 times, and then each time was stronger than the last in 2020, here we go in 2024. 4 years later, I believe that dream was given to her in 2020 for 2024. And you know that people are sparking up. Oh, I told you he was the son of predict. He had a flesh wound, folks. It wasn't a deadly head wound. One person suffered that, but it wasn't him. So we got to get out of that, going with any narrative that pops off, and think about it spiritually, what they're doing. Think about the bigger picture. What they want is to plant the seed, the same way we're supposed to be planting the seed. They're planting the seed as well using television and radio and different people. All these folks that talked all kind of bad stuff about the dude, now everybody quiet that had anything negative to say about him. Because now the investigation is going to start about who could have possibly done it. But I'm telling you right now, folks, forget about all of that. Forget about everything and know one thing. This was done to get folks keyed up so that when the spirit of peace is taken, as the Bible says, they will be given the power to kill each other. God's in control. If that man had not turned his head, okay, that hot rock would have hit him and blew out all his items out the back of his bag. And if that would have happened in front of that crowd and in front of the people that are watching, it would have been smoke in the cities. And they would have blamed the Democrats. I believe we got bad actors on both sides. They all play for the same boss. It's nothing different. But don't be shook by what you saw, because it's more to come. It's more to come. I told y'all months ago to get your popcorn ready. That this summer you was going to see some stuff. And I'm not the only one saying that. Other folks as well have been saying it. But I'm going to stand on business, as the young folks say. And we are going to see more things. I don't expect either one of them dudes to make it past this year. I don't. I really don't. I think it's not going to go well. And I think that, as she said, when she looked back down to earth in that dream, he was the last president. This year, man, this year is not going to end well. Sudden destruction is coming in all kind of ways. And that's what's going to clip people's brain when they see it, because you've been living in the Matrix for so long. The Matrix is about to get redone all over again. I'm going to reset the Matrix. It was set before Adam and Eve, because God told them to repopulate, so it was something here before them. And then after the flood, we reset the Matrix again. God said repopulate, all the way to this time. And it's going to be reset again. So stay in faith, walk in faith. Yeah, we see what's going on, but let's remember why it's going on. Not the low-level information that everybody running with. Okay? We running with higher information. We running with higher intel and knowledge about prophetic. It's not just about what you saw and then the outcome. That's what they want. They want everybody to be running around here arguing with each other, beefing with each other about who did it and why, and was it real or not, blah, yada, yada, yada. That's small change, folks. Think big picture. Overstand, not understand, overstand why the enemy is doing it. Because he knows. You get everybody ramped up, full of anger. You got everybody ramped up, full of chicken soup. Think about all of that. Think about all that negative energy, okay? And then I want you to think about why we see, and we know what's to come. And why we know what's to come is going to happen based on all of the seeds being pre-planted now. Deuces.